Welcome to Horror Year, where every story is a journey into the unknown. If you're brave enough to face your darkest fears and uncover the most chilling tales, you've come to the right place. So, dim the lights, turn up the volume, and subscribe to Horror Year. Your journey into terror begins now. Have you ever experienced that creeping cold when you stopped for gas late at night? Perhaps a spooky feeling that someone was observing. You're not by yourself. It's a dark rumor that gas stations, particularly those along empty highways, are sites where the line between this world and the next thins. Pine Ridge Gas Station, tucked away on the outskirts of Blackwood Forest, is one of the most mysterious locations. Serving visitors for decades, Pine Ridge is more than simply a gas station. It's a landmark tainted by eerie legends. Strange happenings, inexplicable noises, and a persistent sense of being watched are all mentioned by locals. But is there something darker at work here? Or are these merely tales? It's not for the weak of heart to work the night shift at Pine Ridge. Workers describe eerie experiences that can transform an ordinary night into a terrifying one. Former employee Mark recalls the odd incidents that he was unable to explain. He remembered an unsettling evening when he was stocking shelves when he heard his name spoken by a woman's voice. It was a close, quiet, and clear voice. Mark turned, expecting to see someone there, but there was nobody in the aisle behind him. The ensuing quiet was so oppressive that it seemed as though the entire station was holding its breath. His spine tingled when a shadowy figure appeared to hover just out of view. Strange noises reverberated throughout the station as he worked on. Phantom footsteps, faint murmurs, objects moving on their own. Every sound gave him the impression that he wasn't alone, and every shadow appeared to be watching him from a distance. The land where the station is located has a troubled past. It was the scene of a horrible crime, according to legend, a story that was whispered in the community. Some people think that because of their incomplete story, the victims' spirits are imprisoned here. It is claimed that their presence remains in the atmosphere, generating a pervasive sensation of dread that only those who remain long enough may fully experience. Are these ghosts looking for tranquility or something more darker? Even tourists who are just passing by have stories to share. Late one night, a woman was filling up her tank when she felt a cold hand touch her shoulder. She turned and saw nothing except the empty black lot behind her. Every instinct prompted her to go, and her heart was pounding. Shaken, she drove away, wondering if something from beyond had touched her. A truck driver, a seasoned individual accustomed to lengthy shifts and deserted roads, noticed a dark shape observing from a distance in his rear-view mirror. When he glanced again, however, the person was gone. He felt vulnerable after the encounter, as if something had tagged him and was waiting in the shadows. One tale about Pine Ridge has spread widely, turning into a terrifying folktale that is whispered among visitors and told over campfires. Laughing and chatting, a group of friends stopped at Pine Ridge for petrol while traveling by car. But when one of them, a young woman named Sarah, abruptly left, their humor was gone. She was talking to friends one minute, and then she was gone, as though the night had engulfed her completely. Her companions called her name and searched furiously, but there was only quiet. They drove up and down the road, searched the neighboring woods, and searched the petrol station, but they couldn't find Sarah. As the hours went by, panic gave way to despair. She was discovered wandering along an empty road miles distant a few days later. Her face displayed a look of haunted perplexity, and her clothes were ripped and filthy. Sarah only had vague memories of dark figures and a nagging feeling of impending doom. The memories of that night tormented her friends, leaving them with more questions than answers. What, then, is the haunting of Pine Ridge Gas Station? Is this lonesome location permanently haunted by the restless spirit of previous tragedy? Or something darker that preys on both the unwary and the tired? There is little doubt that Pine Ridge is a site where visitors can never be confident that they will depart with more than a full tank, where terror reigns supreme, and where the mysterious laws govern navigation. And that brings us to the end of today's delightful story. I really hope it had you on the edge of your seat. If you liked this story, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. It means a lot to me. And if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. There's always an exciting surprise waiting just around the corner and you won't want to miss it. Do you have a spooky story to share or a fun idea for our next tale? Feel free to share in the comments below. I'm really curious to know what gives you the creeps the most. And as always, take care, keep exploring. And remember, sometimes the most chilling tales are the ones left untold. Catch you in the next one, if you're up for it.